Today we're here with the new Grande Panda. It is a great big yellow ball of sunshine in my life. It is so much fun to look at. It's a great looking little car. It's the rebirth of an icon. So let's have a look around it. Let's have a look inside it. I'll drive it and I'll tell you what it's like. Thank you very much for watching. Let's get into it. So Grande Panda, now this is an icon, isn't it? The Panda is back, and this version is the full electric version, starting at 21 grand. You can buy a hybrid from about 19 something, just under the 20 grand mark. So it is a little bit more expensive to buy the EV, but it is a very, very good looking car. Very cool. Retro styling is back, isn't it? Let's have a look around it, shall we? So there is so much to see on the front of this car. These pixel block designs, they just disappear into the middle and then fade back out into the logo. It is very, very strong up front here. This yellow just pops, doesn't it? It's a really, really fun and playful colour. If we open this here, you do have, which is very, very cool, a charging cable which is on a yellow bungee, which is really, really handy if you go nose in to a charging port somewhere. What a fun, useful accessory that is. If you come around the side, you've got these alloys, which are really, really nice. I think they're really cool. I love the way that they sit. You've got the little Fiat logo up there, black mirror caps. The whole car is yellow. You've got these privacy glass on the back and the roof rails, and then you've got the wheel arches again, which have the Fiat logo in. Now on this hit here is very cool because it's a little Easter egg. If you look at it from one direction, it says Fiat, and if you look at it from the other angle, it's the 4 lines logo. I don't know if it completely catches it on camera, but it is a little optical illusion that I really, really love. Those kind of attention to detail. As we move around the back, you've got the square headlights, you've got this little Panda detail here, and then the little A to show you that's the electric version. That's if the green number plate doesn't give it away. You've got another 4 lines logo there, along with a embossed Fiat, and then you've got a rear wiper, which again is not always a given, is it? And a spoiler there, which adds to your aero efficiency. Again, it's all very blocky, but the lines on this are really, really strong. It's a bit of a statement car, this. It is really, really fun, and I really, really like it. If we look over here, here is your charging port to your fast charger, just on the passenger side shoulder of the car. So all in all, on the outside, this is such a vibrant and fun car. You notice the embossed Panda down the side as well. Just all the little details make this such a fun thing to look at. Genuinely, it's absolutely joyful. Have a look at the boot. So I'm going to open it, manually operated of course. Now the boot space isn't massive by any stretch of the imagination, and it's quite deep. You've got this big load lip here. Now I don't mind that at all, because it means if you put your shopping in, when you open the boot, it doesn't all fall out. So it's quite a nice usable space. You got some bag hooks, you got a light. It's all very nice size wise. It's all quite squared off. There's these little sections on the side if you want to put some smaller things in there, and then if we pull this up, there isn't really any space underneath there. So that's all very good. Your seats go down in a 60-40 split as well, which is always nice to know. But in terms of practicality, you can easily get a set of golf bats in there, you get the buggy in there, that sort of thing. It is a decent space. And another little Easter egg. Ciao! Just before we get in the rear door here, again, Fiat badging on the door. Even though this is all plastic, there is some real attention to detail here, which I like, so you can forgive the plastic if it's fun. Bear in mind, this is built to a price point of 21 grand for a full EV, so you've got to bear in mind there are going to be some cost cutting somewhere, and the plastic is fine, you know, it's going to be easy to clean, so you've got to look at it that way. Let's get in and have a look in the back. So in the back of the Grande Panda, and I've got some space. I've got some leg space and some head space, and it's fine. Absolutely fine. Way more space in here than there is in a Renault 5, but then it is a bigger car, so you'd expect that to happen. There's a little slot there for your phone, so you can sit your phone in there. See if I can do it. So you can sit your phone in there and watch something or do something whilst you are on the move. You got a pocket down there, as well as a couple of USB-Cs down the bottom there. These seats are actually particularly quite comfortable. I quite like this. These are kind of knobbly bobbly effect seat pads and backs are really nice. I quite like this. This is white. as a place to sit, I could do a decent journey sat here. It's quite nice. I really like it. On the back here, this middle seat doesn't have any kind of cup holders or anything in it. It is just what it is. I wouldn't particularly like to sit in the middle because it is quite a short middle seat, quite a small middle seat. So really, this is a 4-person car in all but name. Okay, so we're in the front of the Grande Panda, and I'm going to keep calling it Grande Panda because of the E. It might be Grand Panda, but it is a panda. In the front, I think, is the pièce de résistance. It's where it really comes to life, and the whole vision is there because this is just a piece of art, right? It's like the best Italian flair I think you can find, which may be slightly odd, but genuinely the design that's gone into this is something very special. So let's have a look across the dashboard. So you've got little yellow accents on the vents there. Then you've got this bamboo dash with a box here which opens up, and you've got a space in there, which is all very nice. You've also got an actual glove box which we will open up there at half size, of course, because Stellantis. If we move over to the center, you've got this oval shape here, which you'll see again up here, because this oval shape that surrounds the whole of the dash here is a nod to the roof of the Fiat factory, and there's a little old panda on there as well, another little Easter egg, just to show, because they've got a track on the roof, right? And that's just kind of a nod to that, which I think is really very cool. So you've got the wireless charger here, you have got some buttons here, you've got 12-volt socket, you've got a couple of USB-Cs, you've got some real buttons across here for things like heated steering wheel, heated seats, and then some jog buttons here up and down for your temperature. So real buttons, thank you very much Fiat. Down here you've got your parking brake, you've got your mode selector, a huge well of doom, and some adjustable bits and pieces so you can move around to decide if you want cup holders or whatever down there. And then this armrest is beautifully positioned, right? It's really nice. It is wonderful, right? It doesn't open or anything, but there you go. You've got this wonderful armrest, which is absolutely perfectly positioned for a nice comfortable ride. If we look across the middle, now you have this 2-spoke steering wheel with this kind of retro inspired Fiat badge on the front, which is nicely textured actually, it's slightly rubbery. And then you've got these touchpad buttons here. So on that side, it's all for your cruise control, and that side is for your media. Let's have a look and turn it on. But to turn it on, what you need to do is use the real key. So you actually have to turn the key to turn on the car. And then you can see it comes to life. This is your vehicle display up in front of you. You've got your battery level there. It says it's got 158 miles with 87% of battery left, and that's the power you're using. And you've got things like your speed limit and your speed, etc. all there, what gear you're in, how many miles this car has done. All of that information is very usable right in front of you. Move over to your infotainment display. Of course, you've got CarPlay and Android Auto. You've also got things like the sat nav built in. You've got your radio. You've got all those kind of things. All very nice indeed, and very easy to use. Right, we're driving the Fiat Panda. Yes, the Grande Panda. And it's awesome. So, I mean, as a driving experience, it ain't no Golf. It leans in the corners. But then I suppose you expect that with the shape of it. You don't get that visceral feeling you get from something with a combustion engine, of course, but you get something different with an EV, don't you? Because you get all that instant torque. It's got quite a good turning circle. It has some feel, so if you turn the steering wheel, you can definitely feel where you want it to go, which is a win. And I'm not just driving like an idiot on a road. We're at Millbrook, which is a test facility designed for this, and this is where we can really put cars through their paces and have a go and see what they're like. Now this is a lot of fun. It's pretty good, I've got to admit, it's pretty good. It's not going to win any sporty prizes, but that's a beautiful thing to drive. It's so much joy in here because it's so light. There's so much fun involved in this car. It is absolutely wonderful to drive. It's a lot of fun. It's genuinely just a lot of fun. Amazing. I'm impressed with that. So here we are on the Fiat website. We're just going to have a quick flick through the configurator. As you can see, the hybrid is on here from 18,995, and there are 3 different trims. But we're going to look at the electric version, which is the version we've driven today, starting at 20,995. So let's click onto there. Here we are on the electric. You have got 3 different trims. You've got Pop at 2995, Icon at 21,995, and La Prima at 23,995. On your base spec, you are getting electronic parking brake, TFT cluster for your driver display. You're getting manual air conditioning, rear parking sensors. If you go for Icon, you then upgrade and get pixel LEDs. You get the infotainment screen in the middle, because on the basic version, you have to use your phone for that sort of stuff. 3rd adjustable rear headrest. And then if you go for the top trim, you're getting the 17-inch diamond cut alloys, you're getting the embedded navigation system, you're getting all the climate control, but also you're getting much, much more, because if you look at the packs, you're getting things like the winter packs. You're getting the heated wiper area windshield, you're getting the heated steering wheel, heated seats. You're obviously getting the clusters we talked about, all the speakers, comfort and functionality. You're getting all the USB-Cs, you're getting the wireless charger. You're definitely going to want that, aren't you? So that makes loads of sense. Central armrest, power windows, of course, roof rails, additional closed upper glove box, that's the bamboo box, automatic climate control, driver's seat with height adjustment, USB-C charging and data, soft touch wrapped steering wheel, which I thought was really, really good, cruise control on the steering wheel. Styling, you get the rear spoiler, gloss black pillar, you got the wheel arch claddings, the LED pixels, which I think really do make this stand out, and the LED rear lamps, gloss black internal handles. It's quite a lot on here. Safety and security, obviously you're going to get all the stuff you expect: autonomous braking, speed limit information, driver drowsiness warning, the SOS buttons, your rain sensors, all the airbags you would expect, your rear view camera. Again, that's a really worthy upgrade. So I think if you're going to buy one of these, you're going to want to get this La Prima version. So 23,995, just because the differences are really worth having. Then if you go to colours and options, you'll notice that the yellow is a standard colour. You're not paying any extra for that. If you want the aqua, it's £650. If you want the blue, that's £650, as is the black and the bronze. So the yellow, which I genuinely think is the best colour, is actually included. You can get these other colours, this red, again that's going to be £650, as is the white, but 100% I personally believe the yellow is the best colour. Wheels are your 17-inch ones. Your interior is the one as we saw in the car today. I very much like that, again with the yellow signature. Packing options. Do you want the spiral cable? Well, yeah, I do want the spiral cable, so there you go. That's there. That's £248 a month for that top level trim. So that is a really, really good value indeed. So all in all, the Panda is an absolutely joyful car. It's fun to drive, even if it's not the most sporty, engaging drive in the world. It is fun. The look of it puts a smile on your face, as well as all the people that see it. It has got so much love and joy to bring to you and your family. The price is really, really good too. You know, this electric version from 21 grand, it isn't bad at all. There are loads of quirky stylings, there are loads of fun little features, and a lot that I think make this car really, really fantastic to live with. What do you think? Please tell me in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.